We used to call this in communism the bourgeoisie expression. Just look at it. Look at it, memorize it, and recognize it. Right, well, great to talk about Megyn Kelly today. Now, I don't know much about her, other than the fact that she used to work at Fox News. And she got fired because she asked, why is blackface racism? Now, you're not allowed to ask the question. The very fact that your mind is going towards that place means you're a sinner and you don't have a job at Fox News anymore. Even though as an anchor you don't really think, you just read the script. And now Megyn Kelly is unleashed. And she's on YouTube. And she's thinking for herself. And we're going to see in a little bit what she's talking about. But first of all, like, why was she so familiar? And then it clicked to me. It's like, oh yeah, this is like the sexism conversation with Donald Trump back on the 2016 elections. Because she said it's like, you've called women you don't like, so not all women, just the ones he doesn't like, fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. In other words, human beings insult other human beings they don't like, women are most affected. Just think about it, right? Like, how do we give like, what is the purpose of an insult, right? Why does it exist? Well, it exists to hurt someone. That is what you want to do. When you have a problem with someone, you want to hurt them. Now, when you don't know much about the person, you're not able to tailor the insults, so you're just going to pick from the discount insults of the ones that are stereotypically having a track record of working. You know, you see a black man, you go for the racism, right? You see a woman, you go for the sexism, right? That's how you do it. It's like if someone rams your car in an intersection, you don't know anything about that guy. You can't tailor an insult on the spot. So you're going to go for certain things that are prone to work, right? And that's how we do it. That's how we operate. But the left doesn't understand that. The left is like, if a person insults both men and women, they focus only on the women part. It's like, oh, you're a misogynist. You know, it's like going to a woman and go like, oh, so in your past life you have called men to have little dicks, to be assholes, to be morons, to be living with their mother in their basement. Why do you hate men so much? You know, when the person probably doesn't hate all men, just a couple of them, and doesn't hate, also has disparaging things to say towards women. But anyway, right. So, Megyn Kelly, yeah, the bane of Trump, didn't stop him, seems. He was a juggernaut. But what goes around comes around. It seems that she got fired from Fox News. And recently, she started her own YouTube channel here on our little platform.
Jeffrey Epstein was an accused serial pedophile who died.
Oh, no,
supposedly by suicide.
Oh, no, Megyn.
Prior to 2019, many
Megyn, what are you doing?
The allegations against Epstein, a well-connected investor who surrounded himself with the rich and famous. But no one ever quite got the story until the Miami Herald broke it late last year. Or so we thought. Earlier this week, a group called Project Veritas leaked a tape in which ABC News anchor Amy Robach complains on an open mic that she had the Epstein story 3 years ago, but ABC refused to air it.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate.
Wow. Megyn Kelly unleashed everyone. You know, the thing that made me talk about this is that it's so eye-opening, the light and day difference between a journalist working at a corporation, being told what they can and can't say, being told what they can and can't cover, and when they finally go independent. Isn't it a bit like this is what journalism was supposed to be about, right? Not have a couple of corporate lackeys telling you what to cover and what not to cover. Because here's the thing, if you are out of the loop, Project Veritas, which basically like they're the only people that don't give a fuck anymore, and they're just leaking out things from corporate media. They talked about CNN, and apparently at CNN, the higher ups, they have a whip. Right, like the slave owners on the plantation, and when they see a journalist trying to cover anything else besides impeachment, they go, yeah, right? So probably a pleasure working at CNN, I assume. And then on the other hand, you have ABC. Now ABC used to have the Epstein interview 3 years ago, And apparently names like the Clintons were mentioned, the stuff like that. But apparently, for some reason, the person that had the interview wasn't allowed to publish it. And she said at the time that this is going to eventually be one of the scandal involving one of the worst pedophiles that the United States has ever seen. Fast forward to the day, unfortunately Epstein committed suicide by doing a double somersault out of his maximum security bunk bed. The two guards that were supposed to protect him were asleep, the cameras didn't work, and no one is asking any questions until Megyn Kelly arrives. Now, what's also interesting is that ABC, a news corporation that constantly talks about talking truth to power. Talking truth to power. Well, shut up, Kitty. You're only allowed... No, seriously, like, look at this. Alright, Kitty, I'm working. Do you understand this? Like, I am trying to put food on the table. Okay, by me doing this, we get ad revenue. Alright, people subscribe to my channel, people like my shit, and that's how I make money, and that's how you get fed. So just calm down a little bit, and I'll be with you in a little while. Good God. Good God. Now, as I was saying, the progressive media that constantly likes talking about taking truth to power, speaking out, women coming forward, were really upset when a woman came forward against the corporate power. Yeah, when a woman working at the ABC allegedly spilled the beans about the fact that this Epstein interview was canned. And instead of ABC just apologizing and saying, well, look, at the time we didn't have a lot of evidence, you know, we do run our journalistic integrity and we can't just publish anything. You know, of course, some stories that we decide not to publish might end up being true. However, unless we don't have all the facts, we can't really publish it, right? Because that would be irresponsible of us. And a single false story being published would ruin our integrity. They could have done that. You know, hire me as your PR. But instead what they did is that they organized a witch hunt in order to find out which in their company is responsible for leaking this out. So they apparently wrongfully accused this woman and fired her. Now, after this happened, another person came out, so they have another leaker. We're going to find out in the future what they have to say. And you have Megyn Kelly here deciding to take this lady on an interview, right, on her YouTube channel, in order to talk about this thing. Now, again, you don't have to like Megyn Kelly or not, but I view this as a war on corporate power. Because if from now on, people that are getting fired from corporations for doing journalism or for, you know, doing the worst thing you can do in this day and age to have your own thoughts and opinions, then if they have a safe place on YouTube, if they have a safe place to go somewhere else, it's not going to work well for the corporation because you can only exile people if they have nowhere else to go. Then the threat of exile becomes a thing. But I'm telling you, I think Megyn Kelly, again, whether you like her or not, is going to be quite popular on the channel. So far, she only has like 7,000 subscribers, and I believe she started posting videos 5 days ago. You know, I don't think she's going to be just as popular as the Young Turks or whatnot. But again, like, I just hope there's going to be more competition to corporations, even though this means more competition to me, right? Because now I'm competing with Megyn Kelly. But I can't deny the fact that she puts out good content. Like, I found this to be really interesting. The editing is really great. And it seemed that what she was talking about, what she was saying, was something that she was reading from the script. It seemed that it's something that she herself is legitimately interested in speaking about. And she went against another major news corporation, something that rarely happens, right? Like, you notice all these news corporations, they do attack each other every now and then, but it's very rare, and it's usually over nonsense. Like, they won't go against you're not going to see Fox News go against ABC for, you know, firing their own and stuff like that and making a big deal out of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, maybe it happens that I just didn't get to see it. Are you ready to behave now? Are you going to behave? Are you going to let me make YouTube videos, huh? But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and thank you to anyone that is subscribed to my channel or shares my videos around, because it's really tough with the new YouTube algorithm, and you guys are the only ones keeping my channel alive, and I can't thank you enough. I'll see you guys in the comment section, see what you have to say about this, and hopefully I'll be able to come with another interesting story tomorrow. And I'll release a video about my cats later on today, because even though most people don't like it, there are a few select individuals I really want to see my cat, so therefore, what can I do?